everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Josephine and this is Joe on the Go. Earlier this year, I was studying abroad in Thailand and had to come home early due to coronavirus, but I did get 3 months there, so today we are talking about how much I spent in 1 month while studying abroad in Thailand. First off, just fair warning, this is kind of hard to track, so most of these are estimates. Everything in Thailand is cash, so I kind of just went off bank statements and receipts and Venmo and tried to just estimate as best I could of how much I spent on what, and then I'll list that all here. I'm doing the month of February 2020, and I started that month in Cambodia. So February 1st, I was halfway through my trip in Cambodia and then went back to Bangkok, then went to Koh Tao, then went back to Bangkok, then did a joint trip to Pai and Chiang Mai, then back to Bangkok, and then I finished the month in Railay Beach, so half of my trip to Railay and PP will also be included in this. The reason that I went on a trip and came back and went on a trip and came back every time was because I had class. So I had class 2 days a week, and the people I was traveling with, some of them had Monday, some of them had Wednesday. I had Tuesday, Wednesday. So usually we would be in town from Monday through Wednesday and then travel Thursday through Sunday. I want to just preface by saying all of these calculations are in US dollars. So in Thailand it's baht, in Cambodia it's US dollars. So to make everything simpler, I just did it all in US dollars. So starting with my base costs, my rent was $387 US a month. This was the apartment complex that all the international students at my university in Thailand stayed at. There was a pool, there was a place to hang out in the garage, there was a restaurant in the garage. It was pretty much like a dorm, but like apartment style, and everyone lived there. It was amazing. They say that this rent was a little high for Thailand prices, but you really paid for the location that was near the school and being around all the other people that were in the same boat as you. So my rent for a studio apartment by myself was $387, and the month of February, my utilities were $30 US. That included water, electric, and air conditioning, but it's really air conditioning that made it so much. So total for my rent that month was $417. In Cambodia, we had 1 night left of our trip. So that night I paid $7 for the hostel. And then that day we went to Angkor Wat, which was $30 US, which is pretty high for a tourist attraction, especially in Asia. But I heard that was something you can't miss, and that was correct. So I took out about $150 US on February 1st because I was leaving, and I knew also if I didn't use all my US dollars, I could just keep it and use it when I was back in the States. So from that, I calculated that I spent $50 on food, drinks, spending money, ride to Angkor Wat, Bug Cafe, Killing Field, and ride to the airport. My plane ticket home from Cambodia was $35 US. So the total of the end of my time in Cambodia was $122. Then I went back to Bangkok for 3 days. While I was there, I calculated that I spent $12 on food. One of those days that we were there, we went out to a club. We usually pre-gamed at the apartment, and what they call buckets, pretty much just a drink, at our apartment complex was $4.80. So I'm assuming I bought a couple drinks while I was out, so I'm just gonna put that clubbing night at $15. Then I got these nasty bug bites on my leg, went to a pharmacy, and they gave me cream that cost $2, and it worked like magic. Grab is the form of transportation that we used, so if I say Grab, that pretty much just means a taxi. So Grab / the Metro, it's a $4 round trip to get to class, so that twice, plus a couple other things, getting to the club and whatnot, that's about $13 for those 3 days that we were in Bangkok. So total, those 3 days before I went on my next trip was $42. On February 5th, we left for Koh Tao, and the round trip ticket cost for the bus and then the boat to Koh Tao was $71.20. The hostel, we stayed 1 night at one hostel, and then we paid a little bit more to stay at a different hostel because it was closer to the dive center that we were at. So the total for 3 nights in the hostels in Koh Tao was $34.63. I did get my diving certification, which was about like $320. I'm not going to include that in here because that's not really something that I think most people would do. But just know that that was an additional $320. While we were in Koh Tao, we rented motorbikes for a day, and I had never motorbiked before, so I wanted to make sure that we got the extra insurance in case I crashed while I was learning, which didn't have to use, thank God, but that ended up being $14.50 for the day. Usually it's about $6. With that extra insurance, it came out to $14.50. Okay, so food and drinks in Koh Tao, everything is more expensive in the islands. So I estimated that it would be about $3 to $4 a day, and we ate 3 meals a day because we were going all day starting super early. And so with that and a couple drinks on top of that, I put it at $35 for food and drinks while we were in Koh Tao. The total Koh Tao costs were $155.33, but I just rounded that up to $160 because I'm sure I forgot something. From February 10th to February 20th, we just stayed in Bangkok, wanted to make sure we saw everything there before we were going out on our other trips, so this was a nice weekend in Bangkok to see different places there. While we were there, we went to Ladies' Night at Club at Koi, which is a club there, and every Wednesday they have Ladies' Night from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. where ladies can drink free champagne, unlimited. It's dangerous. So I'm sure we pre-gamed that at our little garage restaurant before, so I put $4.80 for that and then $0 once we were at the club. So I went on a Valentine's Day date, and that was a little bit more expensive because we treated ourselves, so that meal was about $15 US. At some point in those 10 days, I went to a movie because I wanted to experience a movie theater in Thailand, and that was $8. Ashley, Camille, and I went to explore Icon Siam. The ferry there is free, so didn't have to pay anything for that. I know when we were at Icon Siam, I bought a bottle of Hong Tong, which is like Thai whiskey, and a fifth of that is about $8, so I put that on here as well. Then that night we went to a club, so I'm assuming we had drinks at our apartment before that, so I put $4.80 there. And then that club had a 300 baht cover, which is $9.70, and that also included a drink. Then at one point, I went to a floating market and we did a river tour that was about $6. And then all of our friends and I decided to go to this kids fun park. They had adult hours. And so we spent $13 on our tickets for that, and then we pre-gamed that. So the drinks before that I put at $10. So overall for these 10 days, I estimated about $2 to $4 a meal, and I never ate breakfast because we were sleeping in or just running to class really quick. So I did 2 meals a day, $2 to $4 puts you at about $60 on food for the 10 days that we were in Bangkok. So in terms of transportation, Grab rides, I put $8 to get to and from class for 2 days. Transportation to Ladies' Night, $6 round trip. Everyone just split a big van. $12 for Valentine's Day transportation, $4 round trip to the movies, $2 round trip for a big van to the club that we went to, Route 66, $4 round trip to split a ride to the floating market, $10 to go to Icon Siam to go to that super park, and then that totals at about $46, but I rounded it up to $55 because I assumed there's something I missed. So total for those 10 days in Bangkok, I have it at $194.30. I'm sure there's little things I missed, so I'm rounding that up to $200. February 20th to 23rd, I took a trip with 2 of my friends to Pai and Chiang Mai. So here are those costs. Round trip costs for transportation getting there. We took a flight to get there. That was a $21 flight. Then we took a taxi to a bus station. That was about $2. Took a bus from Chiang Mai to Pai, which was about $5. Rode motorbikes from Pai to Chiang Mai, which we rented for $17. It was this really cool thing. They took our luggage for us, and then we didn't have to bring the motorbikes back. And then took a bus back to Bangkok, which was $20. So total transportation for that trip was $65. We stayed at a hostel in Pai for 3 nights. That was $5.20 a night, which totaled $15.60. And we rented a scooter for 2 days while we were at that hostel, which totaled about $13. We went out 2 of the nights that we were there, which I just put at about $15 for drinks from the hostel and then at the clubs that we went to. And then we stayed one night in Chiang Mai and our hostel was $4. And while we were in Chiang Mai, we went to an elephant sanctuary, which was $55. That might sound a little bit expensive, but most people when they're in Chiang Mai or other parts of Thailand or Asia for that matter, will go to an elephant sanctuary, and usually they're even more than that. So we thought it was a really good deal, and we did our research to make sure it was an ethical one. I'll put a link to them down below, and so you can check that out as well. And then for food, really cheap in northern Thailand, so I put it at about 2 to 3 meals a day, and our hostel provided breakfast, and then the day that we were with the elephants, all that food was covered. So food for that trip was about $15. So that trip I have totaled at $190.60, so I'm rounding that up to 200 in case I forgot anything. From the 23rd to the 28th of February, we were back in Bangkok. So here's what we did for those 5 days. 2 days of class, which is a round trip grab of $8. Then I just added $10 for any other grabs that I took during that time. Got my nails done at one point, that was $7. Went out one night, so I'm just saying $10 on drinks that night. And then food, I'm saying about $2 to $3 a meal, which puts us at $25 for the 5 days in Bangkok, not including breakfast because we never really ate breakfast. So that puts us at a total of $60 for those 5 days in Bangkok. On the 28th, I decided that I was gonna go do a solo trip to Railay Beach and Phi Phi Islands to get my advanced dive certification. And so I did Railay Beach on the last day in February, and then on March 1st, went to Phi Phi Islands, so I'm only gonna count the Railay Beach stuff. So on the 28th, I took a night bus to Krabi, and that bus was $22. And then a taxi from the bus station to the pier was $6. The boat from the pier to Railay Beach was $3. The hostel in Railay Beach was $15, which is very expensive for a hostel in Thailand, but it's the islands. Everything's more expensive in the islands, and that's the only hostel in Railay Beach, so they can do that. I spent $3 to go to a cave while I was there, which was pretty cool, I'd say. Sure, maybe worth $3. For food, I estimated about $3 to $4 a meal, and I was only there for like 1.5 days, so I put it at $10. And I didn't have any transportation while I was on Railay Beach because it's all walking, so that total is $59. Okay, so totaling everything up for the month of February 2020, my rent was $417. The end of my trip in Cambodia was $122. Returning to Bangkok, I spent $42 that time. Going to Koh Tao, I spent $160. Coming back to Bangkok, I spent $200 for that 10 days. Going to Pai and Chiang Mai, I spent $200 for that entire trip. Coming back to Bangkok for the 5 days was $60. And then ending in Krabi/Railay Beach was $59 with a grand total of $1,260 in the month of February 2020. Thailand and Asia in general are the place to go if you are looking for a budget travel destination. If I had gone to Europe, I'm sure that would be at least doubled, probably tripled. My rent in LA is about that same amount, and that's purely rent. This included rent. It included 2 whole trips and 2 halves of a trip. And I think that is super good. I'm sure I could have cut down a little bit more if I wanted to just stay in Bangkok and not travel around that much, but it was my time to travel around since I was studying abroad there, so I'm really happy with all the trips I planned, and I budgeted even more than that for each month. So there you have it. I spent a total of $1,260, including my rent, for 1 month while studying abroad in Thailand. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will answer any questions that you might have, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!